So we're back with the words, the most common words in the English language. We finished with drink. Let me share my screen again. And now we are with the word, there we go. Eat. Eat is a very common verb because it's something that we do, obviously. And it's irregular. Eat, ate, eaten. I've heard people say, I've ate. And they say, yeah, I've ate the food. That is wrong, 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 wrong. As far as standard English is concerned. So I want you to understand, I'm talking about standard English. I'm not talking about how people talk when they're in a much more informal situation. Like anything, where you are, the context of where you are can determine how you speak. So when I say it is wrong, I'm talking about in academic circles and in more formal context, especially if you're going to be writing. If you are required to write an essay in English, you can't say what we have ate. Okay, it's wrong. Now, when you're outside and you're talking to your friends and that's the English that you have settled on, and it's it's a different version of the language, fine, fine. But when you are in a particular circle, that's not the English that you use. Just like standard English, just like standard or formal English, in some situations is incorrect. In those situations. Okay. Ate. Remember, it's pronounced like the past tense of the verb to eat. It's a homophone. Everybody, every child, everyone. Indefinite pronoun if it's not being modified, if it's not modifying a noun, and it's an indefinite, did I say pronoun? And then it's an indefinite adjective. Fall, irregular, fall, fell, fallen. And when I do fall, fell, fallen, I'm doing the simple present indicative, simple past or preterite, and then the past participle form. The past participle form is not a tense. It's not a time period. Either is the infinitive and the simple form. These are forms, they're not tenses. A tense in grammatical terms means time. Fell can either be a tense or it can be a form. And that's sort of complicated, but fell, when you say fell, you don't always mean something that actually happened. Right? Let me just give you an example very quickly. Yesterday, I fell. So that's a tense. Yesterday, what did you do? You fell. All right, so that's a tense. Now I'm going to use it as a mood tense, but it's the present. But it's not the present because it's a subjunctive. If I fell, you would not catch me. If I fell, that's an if clause, the second if clause. That's not about what happened. You are supposing if it happened, but it didn't. And the reason this is difficult, because you're not using an entirely different word or form to express the subjunctive in English. Where in a language like in Spanish, you use an entirely different form. So there's no confusion at all. A lot of Americans, and I would say English speakers, not just Americans, do not understand the subjunctive mood. It's not a tense. Far, opposite of near. Fast, opposite of slow. Fast can be an adjective when you're modifying or describing the noun, or it can be a adverb, after verb, adverb, where it is modifying the verb or describing the verb. Let me give you an example. He is a fast child. That can have two meanings. That could either mean that he's growing up. A lot of times they used to say she's fast. Growing up sexually much too quickly. So they say she's fast. Okay, or you can say she is fast in the sense that she's quick, she's agile, she's very intelligent, right? Right? So you're talking about the child or you're talking about the person. But then you say, how does he walk? Oh, he walks fast, not fastly. Because a lot of adverbs in English end in ly, not fastly, but he walks fast, or she walks fast, or they walk fast. You're not describing the person, you're describing how they do the action, fast. Slow, you can't do that. Well, you're not supposed to do that. You hear it a lot. People, a lot, especially, I know, not especially American English. In American English, and I would suspect in a lot of English, they use the adjective when they're supposed to use the adverb. Here's an example. She is a slow person. Now that could either mean intellectually not the sharpest knife in the drawer or in the tool shed, or it could mean that's very methodical. It could mean a lot of different things, but you're describing the person. But if you describe the action, once again, how does he, she, they walk? You will hear people say slow. That's incorrect, because slow is describing how the person does the action. But if you want to know how is the action done, you're talking about the action, not the person. It's slowly. Many adverbs in English end in ly. In Spanish is mente, lentamente, right? Rápidamente. It's the ly, but you're going to hear people say the adjective rather than the. A lot of people say that. In fact, it's really getting kind of rare to hear people say the adverb correctly, or say it at all. First, 5, fly. I like that font. A lot of people don't, but I like it. Verb to fly, fly, flew, flown. It's like, no, I was going to say it's like to draw, drew, drawn. 4, extremely important preposition, very important, very important. It's like 2, found, past tense of the verb to find, F-I-N-D, find, found, found. I always find money Yesterday, I found money. I have found $5. Four, that's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? FOUR, the number 4. I like the font, but I think it's kind of hard to distinguish. From, very important. People get for, of, and from mixed up. They all have sometimes overlapping meanings, but many times very separate meanings. Fool, funny, okay? These are words that are common in the English language, excuse me. Gave, the past tense of the verb to give. Give, present tense form. Gave, past tense form. And given, past participle form. Get, ooh. Super important, super, super, super important. I would say it's on the level of the verb to be, the verb to have, the verb to do. Super important. It has a lot of meanings, using a lot of expressions. So it's get. Now, I'm an American, so I say get, got, gotten. The Brits say get, got, got. That sounds funny to me. I've heard it and I've heard it and I've heard it. I've even taught it when I've taught British English, but it sounds funny to me. I say get, he gets good grades. Yesterday I got an award and I have gotten many awards. I do not say I have got many awards. Give, there's the verb. To give, gave, given. Go, very important verb, very, very important. That's up there with get, that's up there with, because to go is a auxiliary verb as well as a verb, a main verb. It's go, went, gone. So very irregular. Goes, that's the he, she, it of the verb to go. He goes to school, she goes to school, it goes to school. Going, the present participle of the verb to go. I am going to school. Good, the opposite of bad. Got, we talked about this with to get. Green, the color green, that's the color that the word is written in. It's written in green. Grow, it's important. It's an important verb. It's not as up there with get and to have, but to grow, past tense, grew, past participle, grown. And all this you memorize as children. I don't remember memorizing all this stuff, but you memorize it as children. And of course, it's reinforced in the home if the parents speak standard English. And if they do speak a different variety of the language, because I call it a variety, or a different dialect, I don't know if I want to use the word dialect, a different variety of the language, it's made very clear that in the standard form, excuse me, it's I, you, we, they, have, he, she, it, has, not has, has. There it is, the verb to have. Have, had, and I have had. Because the verb to have is a main verb, to have, to own, something that belongs to you. I have $5, for example. And it's also an auxiliary verb. When you see the word perfect in English, perfecto in English, when you see the word perfect, when you talk about grammar tenses, you're talking about the verb to have. The present perfect is the present tense of the verb to have. The past perfect is the past tense of the verb to have. The future perfect is the future tense of the verb to have. The future perfect of the verb to have is will have. The past tense of the verb to have for the past perfect, it would be would have had. It can be complicated, but every language is complicated. He, personal pronoun, personal subject pronoun, he. Help, regular verb, to aid. Her, object pronoun it's to me, to you, to me, to you, to him, to her, object pronoun. Is the opposite. Well, I don't know if you can call it the opposite, but it's sort of like the opposite of the subject pronoun. Here, the opposite, which is close, the pencil is here. It's close to me. Here's the pencil, it's here. But if I want to say the pencil is far away or not that close, like it's there. Him, object pronoun, to me, to you, to, I'm saying to because it helps me to put the object pronoun in the correct place and in the correct form. So it's to me, to you, to him. Okay, I'm going to go out. His is the possessive pronoun, no, possessive pronoun or the possessive adjective. His house, his computer. This is his. If I have the actual noun, his house, his computer, it's the possessive adjective because it's modifying. It's modifying the noun. But if I just say his house, no, his, yours, his already ends in S, so you don't add an S, except for the mine, the other adjectives, no, the other pronouns, you add the S. So let me just explain. It's, you're talking about my house, your house, so it's mine, yours, his, you don't add another S, hers, ours, theirs. Hold, to hold, important verb. I mean, it's not up there with get and with be, but it's important. It's hold, held, held, H-E-L-D. And I'm going to do one more. Hot, the opposite of cold. And let me do one more. How. When, where, what, why, and how. This is what a reporter asked himself when they are reporting. I think it's the W's and the H. Okay, so I'm going to do part 3 because these are 200 words. These are a lot of words. So I can't do it all in 1 or 2 videos. So I want to thank you, Coralla Fickler McLean. Welcome, WYLCOME, welcome.com. Share my videos, subscribe to my videos. Remember my goal. I'm starting with almost no one, but you know, who knows if I can get it? But I know one thing, if I don't try, I won't get it. If I don't try, I won't get it. So this is Coralla Fickler. Let me stop. I wish you a good day and thank you very much.